Alrighty, so it's been a while since I've made a video regarding the colon, and I feel like that's a very important thing to discuss, so that is what this video will be about. I'll probably touch upon some other things as well, but let's really tackle the colon. Years ago, I made a 2-hour video regarding the colon and how to keep the colon cleansed. God, I can't remember the name of that video. It's in my archives. It's one of the first videos I posted. That video is probably 3.5, 4 years old. So, I need to update that video and make a new lengthy video about the colon. This is just going to be a short video. But if you do want to watch that video, if you do want to learn more about the colon, I do recommend that you watch that video. Again, I was much younger in that video, but you can still learn a lot from it. Some of my opinions have changed over the years, and like I said, that video needs to get updated, but until then, here's just a short, concise little version of that video, getting down to the nitty-gritty about the colon. But I mean, the colon is one of the #1 most neglected parts of mankind's physiology here in the Western world. And if you don't have a clean colon, you will never reach a state of health. Never. The colon, every little part of the colon is connected to every other part of the physiology. So there's a part in the colon that's connected to the eyes. There's a part in the colon that's connected to the ears, etc. So if you have an impacted colon filled with shit, mucus, biofilm, parasites, and other abominations, if you have these accumulations in your colon plugging up all the little areas that are connected to other parts of your anatomy, then you will experience sickness until you remove those blockages. And let me tell you, after years of experimenting with enemas and different cleansing herbs that help cleanse the colon, I am amazed at how much waste I've removed from this system. I am amazed. And I know for a fact, hardcore fact, that if I wasn't utilizing the protocols and the enemas to get this stuff out, that it would still be in me here at 26 years old. So most people, they'll go their entire lives, 60 to 80 years or more, with a dirty, impacted colon, filled with parasites, again, biofilm, mucus, candida. There's just all sorts of stuff that can make its way inside the eliminative channels of the body, whether that be the liver, or the colon, the small intestine. This body gets plugged, and unless you unplug it, then you will continue to plug it. So for people who are interested in getting healthy, the first real thing that needs to be addressed in the mind is, okay, I need to deaccumulate the things that I've accumulated from living years as a standard American, or wherever you live, where there's junk food. Wherever you go, you will find junk food in today's matrix. It's pretty hard to go travel somewhere without finding just an overabundance of shit food, whether that be excessive candy, processed sugar, mixed prepackaged drinks with no enzymes in them, no minerals, etc. So part of my health protocol is to realize that in order for you to get healthy, you've got to remove the things in your system that you've accumulated that are causing you to not be healthy. And one of the ways that we can do that is through detoxification and cleansing. So I really enjoy coffee enemas. I've been doing coffee enemas for a very long time now, and I am just jaw-dropped at how much waste coffee enemas have allowed me to remove from my colon. Coffee enemas are not only good for the colon, they're good for the liver. They help the bile duct open and release poisons. They help the coffee goes into the colon and allows the liver to just squirt out accumulated poisons so that you can eliminate them into the toilet when you release your enema. Coffee enemas, I mean, I know people who do. I know a woman who's done coffee enemas every day for over 3 years, and she's one of the most bright, most intelligent, most spiritually activated, kind, people on the planet. Many people think that coffee enemas and enemas in general are very dangerous to do every day. But I mean, I know multiple people who do enemas every day, and they are doing just fine. And in fact, they're doing better than most of the people who do enemas, I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks, etc. So it really depends on the intuition that a person harbors. So people ask me, how many enemas should I do? You've got to really tune in and meditate and listen to your own body. Do a nice gentle coffee enema once, hold it for 15 minutes, do the protocol properly, rub your liver, and release that stuff into the toilet and see how much stuff that you can kick out of your system. If you're releasing large amounts of waste on the first enema administration, chances are it means that you have more in there. And let me tell you, it probably means that you have a lot more in there. So you've really got to listen to your intuition in relation to enemas and cleansing procedures as well, because I do believe that you can do too much of something, even if it's good. So again, I get asked often how many enemas I should do. I can't answer that for you because I'm not you. There were periods where I did coffee enemas once to twice a day for over 40 days, and let me tell you, after 40 days, I felt absolutely fucking liberated and incredible. So I do a lot of experimentations. I'll do 2 weeks worth of coffee enemas, then I'll stop for 2 to 3 months, and then I'll start them again. One of the beautiful things about heavily experimenting with something and then stopping is that when you stop, you kind of allow your body to reacclimate to not having that particular thing that you're putting in your body. And then when you put it back in, you can really gauge the way that it makes you feel. So if you do enemas a lot, you'll build a tolerance to them. And if you stop after you've done quite a bit of enemas and do them again, you'll be able to feel just how good that enema makes you feel, because your body has been given a chance to readjust and, live without that enema. I hope that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is, for instance, the coffee enemas, if I go a week without a coffee enema and then I do one, I feel a massive influx of liberation. I feel great. My body feels clean. If I ever at any period feel like my skin is starting to crack or get dry, I do a coffee enema and it completely changes. It changes everything, man. So let's see how much time we have here on the good old laptop. Again, man, colon cleansing is paramount to health. Because let me tell you, if you lived in a standard American fashion for over a year of your life, you have parasites, you have accumulations, you have biofilm, you have different fungal networks in your system. And all these things need to be either removed or, what's the word I'm looking for? You either need to remove all the waste or you need to get that waste down to a manageable fucking amount. Because most of us are overrun. And I have so many pictures of so many of the things that I've kicked out of my system with coffee enemas and colon cleansing with herbs, etc. It'd make the average person's head spin if they knew that these are the types of things that they harbor as well. So just to wrap this video up, I want to make these videos somewhat short. A person's health is directly connected to the health of their colon. And the health of your colon is directly dependent on how much waste you have in your system. So if you have large amounts of waste in your system, good luck getting healthy. You need to remove that waste. Most people approach health like, oh, I just need to take these minerals, I need to eat these herbs, I need to eat right and drink clean water, and everything will be all right. That's not the way it is here in the Matrix. Due to the fact that we've lived such unnatural lives for so many years, we have excessive amounts of waste that needs to be removed from this system. How are you going to put nutrition into your system if your system's plugged to the point where you can't even absorb that nutrition? So I like to approach health and getting healthy with kind of a plumber's philosophy of, okay, we have this plumbing, this biological plumbing, and it's plugged. So in order for things to get moving again, in order for flow to begin moving and For us to begin experiencing health, we need to remove these accumulations, these blockages. Let me tell you, these blockages are not just in the colon. They're not just in the small intestine. We don't just have blockages in the lymph and in the blood. We don't just have blockages in the liver, etc., and in the tissues, the muscles. We also have blockages in the spiritual physiology, the subtle bodies, the aura, the Merkaba, the meridians. So again, health is about getting flow. And to get flow, you need to get rid of what's inhibiting flow. And once you get flow again, then you can begin experiencing better health. And better health leads to higher states of consciousness. And higher states of consciousness allow us to get closer to what we truly are. We were meant to be enlightened individuals who walked around and experienced the miracles of living in this Garden of Eden. We were meant to eat fruits and greens from the natural world. We weren't meant to eat fruits and vegetables and all these other things that are grown agriculturally by the hands of men. Fruit in nature grows in a completely different pattern than it does in the agricultural world. You go out into the dense jungle, into a dense tropical jungle, you don't see bananas fucking growing down rows and shit. No, they're scattered across the land. There's all sorts of different herbs growing wildly, etc. We need to eat those types of foods. Store-bought fruits and vegetables harbor only a small fraction of the power that those fruits or vegetables would have harbored if they were grown by Gaia. So that's why I don't like eating a lot of store-bought fruit. When I eat store-bought fruit, it's usually just melons, sometimes cucumbers, sometimes celery. I try to go out and harvest all my food from the natural world. Every year, I harvest hundreds of pounds of natural apples. You shouldn't have to buy food. What the fuck is that? You should not have to buy food. And what's hilarious is that the food that people are buying is incredibly weak. There's no chi in it. You can do more for your health with zero money. And you can just go with zero money in your wallet and go harvest foods from this natural garden that we live amongst and get twice the amount of nutrition for free. I mean, have you ever had a naturally grown orange? Go harvest an orange once it's ripe off a tree. And then go buy a fucking organic orange from the store. They're completely different. Natural oranges, they're somewhat bitter. Most of the fruits that grow here naturally amongst the matrix in the Garden of Eden, people don't like the taste of. People have been conditioned by store-bought fruits and vegetables to think that fruits are supposed to be just ridiculously high in sugar, etc. But let me tell you, many of these fruits, like the apples, they're nowhere near as sweet. Apples that grow in nature are nowhere near as sweet as apples that you buy from the store. So over time, as we've succumbed to buying things from the store instead of using our intuition and going out into nature and harvesting our food for free, due to the fact that we've eaten these foods, these unnatural fruits and vegetables for so long, we've literally, our taste buds have been matriculated and altered, and now we crave those fake foods. Even though we think they're real and natural and organic, they're not. Because food in nature, by proxy, by default, it doesn't grow in the way that agricultural fruits and vegetables grow. It's just deep, man. Many people get on this fruit kick and they think that they're really doing something good for their body, but it's just like you'd be doing so much more if you learned how to forage your own fruit and your own herbs, etc. So this was a video about colon cleansing. I've got off on a couple of different subjects. I'm just sitting here drinking some rooibos tea, and I have some baking soda water down there with some lemon in it. Just chilling here, making a video before I go tackle some work and get some shit done. Again, just to wrap things up, colon cleansing is essential, and one of the greatest ways to start cleansing your colon, in my opinion, and your liver is to use coffee enemas. But you need to brew your coffee properly, and you need to use the right type of coffee. So I'll make some videos in the future clarifying that. But I just wanted to talk about the colon really quick. Again, the colon is intimately connected to every single part of your anatomy. Every single part of your physiology, including the aura and the Merkaba, etc., is directly connected to your colon. So you might want to clean it, you might want to take care of it, and you might want to start questioning whether the foods that you're eating right now are helping your colon get healthy or helping your colon get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. So let's just see how much time I have left on the battery. All right, still recording. All right, I have a little bit of time, so let's keep ranting. This message is coming to you live from hell. Yes, I said hell, because this world right now is hell. The 3D realm on Earth is currently hell, and if people can't see that, it's because they're not looking at the statistics. You cannot look at these horrific statistics of what goes on this planet and then somehow justify, oh, dude, this is heaven, bro. The angels are here, everything's taken care of, blah blah blah. No, we live in hell. You may think it's heaven because you have an easy life where you can get to go to work every day and hang out with your coworkers and eat your junk food and hang out by the water cooler with everybody at the office and talk about the Raider game and all this other shit. You may think that it's fucking heaven for you because you don't have any strife right now, and you may think it's heaven for you because you get clean water, you have water that you can drink and foods at your fingertips. But let me tell you, many people don't. Hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people suffer while millions of people here in the United States just go about their lives in such a greedy, fucking arrogant, egotistical manner. It's disgusting. Let me tell you, this is hell. Heaven is not the type of place where bombs are dropped on innocent people. Heaven is not the type of place where people are beheaded. Heaven is not the type of place where people lie, cheat, and steal each other, and hoodwink and bamboozle each other. No. What's going on here on the planet right now is not the type of work that you'd see on the resume of a supreme being. No. Heaven, in fact, is a state of consciousness that is produced through the rising and the arousal of the Kundalini Uraeus. When Kundalini liberates the tissues and enlightens the spine, activates the pineal gland, and nourishes your denourished brain, once you start firing those sacred messages between the right and left hemisphere, and you start to bridge everything, and you get those chakras activated, and you start absorbing prana through the subtle bodies, you'll realize what I say when I say heaven is a state of consciousness. You can experience heaven consciousness here in hell, and that's when you become a demigod. That is when you become a person who actually, not even going to say it. Just like the movie The Matrix, when Neo becomes enlightened and there's agents everywhere. I mean, you can become enlightened here in hell. And through enlightenment, you can experience heaven consciousness. Christ consciousness. The Kundalini is the return of Jesus, is the return of Christ. Once the Kundalini rises, and it gets, see, most people have their Kundalini is asleep at the lower base of their pelvic floor, a 3.5 rotation, that the serpent energy is asleep and dormant. And when you have that energy sleeping and non-awakened at the base of your spine, it means that you're only experiencing reality through the lower dictations of the root chakra. It means that you're only able to see a small, tiny fraction of the complete totality here. So when that energy does rise and ascend past the lower chakra, when the Kundalini energy rises and nourishes the lower chakra and breathes light into it, and once those blossoms, the petals on the lower chakra bloom, the energy can then raise and go onto the next chakra and begin nourishing it. And once that happens with all of the chakras, you get that energy vortex of the Kundalini moving through and coalescing up these chakras, and it gets into the brain and activates it. You get your nimbus, you can start seeing the truth that has been literally, the truth has been blinded from you. And the only way that you're going to know the truth is if you get activated. And the only way that you get activated is through the activation of the chakras. And the only way that happens is if the Kundalini is aroused to the point where it wakes up from its slumber and it wants to rise and please. Otherwise, good luck. You will never become activated without the activation of your physiology, your organism. And the chakras are a huge part of your organism. Your chakras, your subtle bodies, your aura, your Merkaba, they literally keep your flesh constituted and bound in a 3D suit so that you can walk around here and experience reality in the third dimensional realm. Now, many people seem to think that the aura is invisible and that it can't be seen. Many people seem to think here in the New Age world, New Age realm of bullshit, that the Merkaba cannot be visually observed, that it's just this invisible energy field that follows us that we can't interact with, etc. You can see your Merkaba, you can see your aura, you can experience states of gnosis, also known as enlightenment or higher consciousness, where you can see your meridian channels, you can see the light and the energy moving through the meridian channels and hitting each of the little portals before it kicks its energy up to the next relay center. You can see your halo. There are states of consciousness where you can see the biomagnetic electricity and energy that permeates off your hands, off your body, off your skin. There are so many things about our physiology that we are fucking completely shut off from. And let me tell you, it's because of the Matrix. The Matrix wants you to be an unactivated individual who never really does anything for this planet, who only seeks personal fulfillment, relationships with other people who are on the same energy band. Yeah, the system wants to make you a powerless person, again, with no activation, with no Kundalini stimulation. Because let me tell you, once you do experience Kundalini, you get into that heaven consciousness, that Christ consciousness, you can start performing magic and completely changing the course of history here on the planet with your mind, your wand, your brain. I don't think the average person has but a tiny iota of a clue how much power a person experiencing Kundalini harbors. Kundalini allows us to experience nirvana, non-causal joy, and ecstasy. It allows us to literally bridge our consciousness with the absolute, with the divine, with the all. And when that happens, you begin to realize who you really are. And when that happens, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I want to end this video. This was just a video about the colon. I got into a few different subjects. If you've made it to this far in this video, thank you for watching. And I hope that this video can help inspire you to want to take your health back. I hope that this video and my messages can help inspire you to start drinking clean, spiritually restructured water. Your body is composed of anywhere of 75 to 81% water. You may want to start putting the cleanest, most activated, most spiritually abundant water that you can generate. I hope that my messages can help inspire you to cleanse your colon, to look into enema therapy, and to start doing things like researching the Gerson therapy. Look up Charlotte Gerson. Look up the work of Max Gerson. Look at the work of Dr. Gabriel Cousens, medical doctor, naturopathic doctor, and psychiatrist. Start reading, start researching, start meditating. I hope that my channel and my messages can help inspire you to do these things today. So on behalf of Christ consciousness, on behalf of the liberation of this planet through the activation of Kundalini and the Merkaba and the golden Uraeus of Ra, peace be with you.